Hi there and welcome to this 160-second tech Q&A session where I'll be answering some of your tech related questions, and I've got a variety of questions today, and you can post your questions via Twitter using the hashtag that is known as Geekyranjit. And also I have been picking up a lot of questions from the YouTube community page. There actually on Mondays I post, and I'm picking a lot of questions even from that YouTube community page. So let's get on with it. A lot of questions, as I have told you. Let's start with the first one, and this is from Sub Bhaiya. He's asking, kindly suggest me a phone for sound quality. He says, I need powerful speakers, budget under rupees 20,000. A very peculiar question, I would say. Main priority is powerful speakers, and I would say for your needs, I would strongly suggest the Alcatel Idol 4, which is available for about 16,000 rupees or something like that, if I recall. And that one has very powerful speakers. But again, apart from that, the audio performance is good and the speaker is good. But when we talk about the general performance was just sort of okay, I would say, because it's running on the Snapdragon 617 chipset. It tends to heat up a little bit, and also though the design looks very cool, I would say, I did the unboxing video, but again it tends to heat up quite a bit because of the Snapdragon 617 chipset. So again, not a perfect choice, but again it has very good speakers and the price is under 20,000. I hope it helps. Let's move to the next one. This is by Mr. Satija. He's asking, is the Surface Pro 4 a good buy now, considering it's almost a year and a half old? The Microsoft Surface Pro 4 now, I would say, is sort of old, as you have already mentioned. There are very strong rumors that Microsoft is going to come out with the Surface Pro 5 very soon in the next 2-3 months. So if I were you, I would wait and see. But again, the Surface Pro 5 will again be an expensive device. And now if we talk about the Surface Pro 4, now I feel the device has become pretty decent. I would say still not perfect. Battery life is still not that great. I use the Surface Pro 4, and in day-to-day usage, I would say I get a battery life of just about 4 to 4.5 hours. So apart from that, yes, it is functional. A lot of bugs when I reviewed it almost last year are ironed out with the Windows 10 anniversary update. But yes, if you're getting a very good deal, I would say under 60,000 or something like that, 50-60,000, then go with the Surface Pro 4. But if you can wait, yeah, Microsoft is going to release the Surface Pro 5 in the next couple of months. But again, expect it to be pricey. Again, these Surface Pro devices are pretty expensive. Let's move to the next one. This is from Manas. He's asking, what is the best semi-pro all-round DSLR? Also, your thoughts on Nikon versus Canon versus Sony in terms of DSLRs. First, let's talk about Nikon versus Canon versus Sony. I would say Sony excels in mirrorless. If you want to go with mirrorless, they have very good options right now. So there, I feel Sony excels. Between Nikon and Canon, I would say if it's general photography, you can go with either one of them. Both are very good, Nikon or Canon. But specifically if it comes to video, if you plan to shoot a lot of video, then I would say Canon has a slightly better option compared to Nikon. Now your question about best semi-pro all-round DSLR. I think so, Manas, you are sort of looking for a hybrid kind of device. That's a mix between a high-end point-and-shoot and a DSLR. And for this, you can look at bridge cameras. These are not totally DSLRs, but are way more powerful than point-and-shoot cameras. And these have actually very good zoom. For example, Canon makes some, Panasonic makes some. For example, my dad in fact has the Canon SX50. It has got, if I recall, 50x zoom, and for wildlife photography he uses that instead of his DSLR. So that's the bridge cameras, known as bridge cameras. You can have a look at them. Good options are from Canon, and even Panasonic makes some. So you can have a look at that. They're not totally, like DSLRs, you can't change the lens, but again, they have very good zoom lenses and sort of a bridge camera. Let's move to the next one. This is from Kedai. He's asking, how is the Moto Z how is the Moto Z Play holding up after all these months? Can we see cheaper Moto mods in 2017? I don't think so the Moto mods will get very affordable. If you think that the prices will crash like crazy, I don't think so. The Moto mods attachments are sort of a niche accessory, so I don't see the pricing to fall drastically. For example, the cool Moto mods, that the projector mods, what is what 19,000, and the camera module is again about 19-20,000. So don't expect those to be selling for about 5-6,000 in 2017. But in respect of how this Moto Z is holding up, still the Moto Z Play is actually holding up very well. I still love it for the fact that that one gets incredible battery life, easily lasts for about 1.5 days, and in some instances I have noticed that it can last for almost 2 days on a single charge. So performing very well, and that Snapdragon 625 is holding up without any issues. Let's move to the next. This is by Harshal. He's asking, what do you think is the next big innovation in smartphones after curved bezel-less screens, etc.? Harshal, this is not going to happen immediately, but actually foldable screens might come out. They won't come out in 2017. I don't think so. It'll come out that soon. But when I was in US last year, Lenovo and Motorola actually showcased their prototypes, which were bendable phones. They could actually bend completely and open, but they told that this is sort of prototype. It was a live working unit, but for mass production they said that will take a couple of years. So we are still far away from that, but when that happens, I think so that would be a great game changer. Just imagine a simple phone, you fold it, it's like a smartphone, but when you just open it, it can act like a mini tablet. So yes, that will happen eventually, but I don't think so that will happen in 2017. It's still going to take a couple of years to make that technology affordable. This is by Nav. He's asking, want to ask whether Redmi 3S would be the best option under rupees 7,000 price segment, or should I wait for the upcoming models? Now, I would say for the price of 7,000 rupees, still the Redmi 3S is the best option. There are rumors that Xiaomi might launch the successor to the Redmi 3 very soon in India, but I don't think so they're going to launch anytime a successor to the Redmi 3S. So as of now, I would say for the price of about 7,000, Redmi 3S would be my pick also. Hope it helps you. This is by Himanshu. He's asking, this is a video editing sort of a question. He's asking, how to sync audio while recording video at the same time? Himanshu, I would say whenever you're doing, for example, I'm doing the same thing. I'm recording the video via my Canon DSLRs, but as you can see, this is the lapel mic attached to a voice recorder. This is the Tascam DR05, and I have to sync this audio and video later on. Before starting the video, what I generally do is do these claps. So these create a huge spike in the audio waveform. And what I do in post is I just sync them up, align them, and there you have the synced audio. If you are having a good video editors, for example, Final Cut Pro X and stuff, they can do this automatically for you. But even you can do it manually. I was doing it manually for all these years, but now I just use the Final Cut sync option and it syncs the audio and the video. This is by Harsh. He's asking, Moto G4 has so many problems like overheating. I think so you've meant the Moto G4 Plus, like overheating, ghost issues while charging, screen burn issue, battery drain issue. So what do you expect from Lenovo and Moto from 2017? Is the problem going to still continue? Harsh, yes, you are right. The Moto G4 Plus, though it was a great handset with incredible camera performance for that price, but yes, it has its share of issues, and I feel Motorola in 2017, Moto and Lenovo should just try to consolidate and not launch a bunch of devices. What they are right now doing is that they are launching too many devices instead of making one great device. So I hope in 2017 we just see one great Moto G5, not one Moto G4 5 Plus minus regular Moto G5 or a bunch of devices. Like, just make one great device and support it. Guys, Moto, you're just ruining the brand by launching so many devices. Just concentrate on making one great device. That was your secret of success. I hope it comes back. This is by Aryan. He's asking, does the Google Pixel XL camera, is it better than the iPhone 7 Plus? Please answer my question. Aryan, yes, the Google Pixel camera is better than the iPhone 7 Plus camera, especially in indoor and artificial lighting conditions. It does better than the iPhone 7 Plus. But the iPhone 7 Plus has one big advantage. It has that telephoto lens. So when you move to the telephoto lens, you can easily just zoom in and capture the subject. With the Pixel XL, you take a picture and you have to use the pinch to zoom. So for far away objects, if you are shooting a lot, then the iPhone 7 Plus would be better. But for general photography, especially in indoor lighting conditions and artificial lighting, the Pixel or the Pixel XL does better. I hope it helps. And this is by Karthik. He's asking, what do you think, which company came back stronger in 2016 after bad RAM management issues on the Galaxy S7 and the OnePlus to Samsung or OnePlus? I would say both these companies did a very good job. Even if you recall the OnePlus 3, when it was launched, though it had 6 gigabytes of RAM, it had RAM management issues. And quickly OnePlus solved that issue. They acknowledged it and solved it. Samsung also, to an extent, I would say the Galaxy S7 is not that bad in RAM management, but still I would say for the 4 gigabytes of RAM, the Pixel is doing a far better job. So Samsung, I feel, can still improve, because my wife actually uses a Samsung Galaxy S7 now. It's been about 6 months, I would say midlife. And sometimes I do notice that the apps reload and minor UI lag. So I would say in that respect, OnePlus did a far better job in optimizing stuff. I hope Samsung improves that with the Samsung Galaxy S8. Very high expectations we have with the Galaxy S8. Hearing a lot of rumors also about it. So let's move to the next one. This is by Ishan. He's asking, which is better, Lenovo K6 Note or the Redmi Note 3 in performance, gaming and battery life? Here I would say the Redmi Note 3 is a better choice overall, I would say, in terms of general performance and even in battery life. But in terms of camera, I would say the Lenovo K6 Note does slightly better than the Redmi Note 3, especially in indoor lighting conditions. In indoor and artificial lighting conditions, the Redmi Note 3 camera is not that great. This is by Mr. Bhandari. He's asking, Huawei P9 Plus versus the Samsung Galaxy Edge 7, which phone is best overall? End user performance from this both, and also battery and camera. I haven't used the Huawei P9 Plus, but I used the regular Huawei P9, and between these two, I would go with the Samsung Galaxy S7. In terms of static pictures, the Huawei P9 in some aspects actually does better than the Galaxy S7, but in video, the Huawei P9 performance was simply not that great. So I would pick the Galaxy S7, and even in battery life, the Galaxy S7 Edge would get you better battery life. So overall pick, I would lean over to the Galaxy S7 Edge. But again, if you're planning to get the Galaxy S7 Edge, just get a case. I have seen so many phones, screens getting, broken up, because it's a very, very slippery device. This is by Mr. Pandu. He's asking, what is the major difference between Indian brands like Lava, Life, etc. versus Chinese phones like Xiaomi, Vivo, Oppo, etc.? Okay, the thing is that this Lava, Life, Micromax, etc. These actually don't manufacture most of their phones. These actually go to these Chinese OEMs. These are known original equipment manufacturers from China, and they just order them to make phones for them. They bring those phones to India and do the labeling and stuff. Whereas with the other Chinese phones like Xiaomi, Vivo, Oppo, these actually produce their own phones. They just don't rebrand their phones. So that's the major difference. These Chinese vendors like Xiaomi, Vivo, Oppo, etc. are the OEMs. In fact, Coolpad, now that they have come in India just last year, used to actually manufacture many of the Micromax and even some U phones. Coolpad used to do that. Anyways, let's move to the next one. This is by Tushar. He's asking, my friend has the Redmi Note 3 and he always shows off. Please tell me a better phone in that price segment. Tushar, there are very strong rumors that the Redmi Note 4 is going to come out very soon in India. Xiaomi might launch it in January or by February. So just wait and go for that. I'm sure it should be better than the Redmi Note 3. This is by Gulshan. He's asking, when would the OnePlus 3 get the Android Nougat N update? Gulshan, the Android N update on the OnePlus 3 has started rolling out. Just today morning, I got a press release from OnePlus regarding that. So the OTA update has started rolling out. So it should come out to your devices very soon. And this is by Pratik Mehta. He's asking between the Moto Z Play over the OnePlus 3 because having used Oxygen OS, it lags a lot after 3 months. So is it correct? Pratik, no. I have been using the OnePlus 3 for a long time and it's running on Oxygen OS and I don't see any lag. And in fact, in terms of fluidness, it is as fluid as the Moto Z Play or even the Pixel. So I don't know from where you are getting the OnePlus 3 or even the OnePlus 3T is fabulous. You won't notice any UI lag on those devices. Let's move to the next one. This is from Mr. Joshi. Why was the Moto Z, despite being an incredible performance, neglected completely? Even you didn't review it. Yes, the Moto Z was a very sleek phone, very slim, one of the slimmest phones when it was announced. But the problem with that phone was the battery life. The battery life, though, because they made it so slim, they couldn't put a decent sized battery on it, and it could hardly last for a typical working day. So that was the biggest reason, and that's the reason that I simply opted not to review the Moto Z. In fact, I went with the Moto Z Play, which is more affordable at 25,000, and that one has a incredible battery life. So that's the reason I would say many of the reviewers were negative about the Moto Z. It's due to the battery life. Let's move to the next one. This is from Aditya Gupta. What are your views on stylus smartphones? Are they dead? Aditya, I don't think so. Those stylus smartphones are dead. Because personally, I know many people that wanted to actually buy the Note 7 for the stylus. And I still know some people who are waiting for the Note 8 for the stylus functionality. So I would say, yes, others haven't implemented that stylus functionality that well, but Samsung with the Note series has done an incredible job. And I know there is still a hardcore user base that would wait for the Note 8. So yeah, it's not dead, but again, Samsung has done a great implementation. Others haven't implemented it that well. Let's move to the next one. This is by Swati. He's asking, hey Ranjit, would like to know your take on the Lico Bluetooth headphones. If you're talking about the Lico Bluetooth headphones, I had them. The one that goes over your head looks cool, but in terms of audio performance, it was not that great. In terms of audio performance, I would rate it 6.5 out of 10. But the biggest problem that I had with those Lico headphones was the comfort. After just about 30 minutes, it starts to pain in your eyes. Even the cushioning pads were so thin that the internal metal and stuff starts to hit your ears. So I would simply not recommend you, but they were one of the most uncomfortable Bluetooth headphones that I have worn. Let's move to the next one. This is by Sajjanar. He's asking, is that 3400 mAh battery increase on the OnePlus 3T useful, or it's same as the OnePlus 3? I think so. You haven't watched my video review of the OnePlus 3T. Definitely that 400 mAh increase in battery life on the OnePlus 3T does make a lot of difference, I would say. In terms of practical use, you are easily going to get about 40 minutes to about 1 hour of extra screen on time. And with the regular OnePlus 3, I have even said this in my review, I had to sometimes charge it in the evenings at about 7:30 or whatever, because it used to fall down to about 15%. But with the OnePlus 3T, I didn't have to do that. It could easily last for a full typical working day. So definitely the battery life has improved on the OnePlus 3T. I hope it helps. This is by Akhilesh. He's asking, Google Pixel XLs versus the OnePlus 3T battery life, RAM management and performance. I would say in terms of battery life, both of them were getting very similar battery life. So I wouldn't pick up one over the other. And in terms of RAM management, both were great. And also in performance, both are one of the most fluid Android devices that I have tested. But there is one big difference that you have with the Google Pixel XL, and that is in terms of camera. If camera is your highest priority, go with the Google Pixel XL, because the camera on the OnePlus 3T is okay for the price. But again, if we start comparing it with the camera performance of the XL, it simply cannot compete. But again, there is a huge price difference. The OnePlus 3T can be, you can have it for what, 30,000, whereas for the Pixel XL, it's what, 67,000, more than sort of double. So it's not a fair comparison, I would say. This is by MP Silvan. He's asking, if we are a very heavy game user, which type of processor should we select? Snapdragon or MediaTek? If it's for a lot of gaming, I would say go with the Snapdragon based chipset, because the Snapdragon chipsets come with the Adreno GPU, and most of the popular heavy games are optimized for the Adreno GPU. So definitely, if you're sort of a gamer, stick with the Snapdragon variant over MediaTek. This is by Wazir. He's asking, what's the biggest impact you have witnessed on smartphones in 2016, and will it continue to dominate in 2017? I've mentioned about this earlier also. The biggest impact and difference that I've seen in 2016 is that the budget range to mid-range phones have gone really powerful, and you're getting great devices at a very low cost. But in 2017, I in fact even made a dedicated video about this, the end of party of budget-oriented smartphone. But in 2017, I'm noticing that many of the popular vendors are sort of increasing their pricing. So I don't think so this party of continuously seeing the price drops that we were seeing in 2016 is going to last in 2017. So yeah, looks like now these OEMs are trying to protect their profit margins now. This is by Shubham Sharma. Does the Moto Z Play heat up while charging? I'm planning to buy it, but after reading the reviews of heating issues while charging on Flipkart, I'm confused. Should I buy it or not? Shubham Sharma, you don't have to worry about the heating while you charge the Moto Z Play or even the Moto Z. The thing is that these devices come with fast charger, and whenever you charge them, they get actually pretty hot. They literally get pretty hot, and that's sort of normal with fast chargers. The only phones that don't heat up while charging fastly is the OnePlus 3 and the OnePlus 3T because of dash charging. With any other phone, even Samsung Galaxy S7, etc., if you use a fast charger, they're going to heat up while they are charging. This is perfectly normal. Don't have to worry about it. I hope it helps. Now let's move to the next one. This is by Anirudh. Audio Technica CLR 100 or the Sennheiser CX 180. Which one should I go for? These are earphones, and between the Audio Technica CLR 100 or the Sennheiser CX 180, I own both of them. I would lean over the Audio Technica CLR 100 in terms of audio quality, but in terms of build quality, the Sennheiser CX 180 have better build quality, particularly the wire. The wire is very thin on the Audio Technica CLR 100, but in terms of audio quality, I'll go with the Audio Technica CLR 100. This is by Mr. Samant. He's asking, is the Mi Band 2 good for rupees 1,999? Yes, the Mi Band 2 is pure value for money if you're looking for a cheap budget-oriented fitness band. I've already done my in-depth review for that, so again, check out that for details. But yeah, it's still a great option, and even in terms of battery life, it lasts for about 15 to 18 days per charge. And this is by Gauri Shankar. He's asking, Galaxy S7 iPhone is the best to buy, otherwise should I wait for the Galaxy S8? Yes, both the Galaxy S7 and the iPhone 7 are good devices, but as you mentioned that, is it a good option to wait for the Galaxy S8? We are already in 2017, and the Galaxy S8 should be announced by end of February, and this time I think so Samsung will try to launch it quickly. So hopefully by early March we should be able to get the hands on the Galaxy S8. Already a lot of rumors have started coming out regarding the Galaxy S8. So if you can wait for about this 3 odd months, I would say wait and go with the Galaxy S8. And this is by Sahil Shukla, a YouTube related question. He's asking, with YouTube being so buggy and almost every content creator complaining about it, do you think that it's a bad time for new YouTubers and even the old ones are suffering? Has this affected your channel? Sahil, the thing is that YouTube keeps on changing, and yes, even my channel has got affected. and even earlier I made videos about it. But again, I don't concentrate on these things because we can just complain and things are not going to change. In fact, I've been on YouTube for a long time, from 2011 onwards. It's been 6 years, and I've seen YouTube being changed a lot in this all these years, and you have to just adapt to the changes. I simply don't care about all these and just concentrate on creating good content. That's what I just do, and try to ignore all these things. So I would say concentrate on good content. And yes, revenues have fallen down quite a bit. To give you a funny example, I would say if the revenues were same as 2012, I would have been having about 3 offices in India and about half a dozen people working for me. But that's not the case. The reality is very different. So things are changing, but again, I just tend to ignore it, because if we complain also, nothing is going to happen. It's the market forces, the advertisers, and the pool of advertising money that is coming in, all those other things. So simply we can't control all on that. So I just try to produce better content for you guys. So I hope it helps. This is by Prince. He's asking why Samsung is so much expensive while Xiaomi and other Chinese smartphone performance is better than the Samsung at the same price point. By the way, I'm a big fan of you from Nepal. Thank you, Prince. Yes, Samsung, Apple, etc. These phones will have a very high cost if you compare it with many of the Chinese vendors like Xiaomi and others. The thing is that Xiaomi works on very thin profit margins, and sometimes when they launch the phone, the profit margins are very close to about zero. But with other vendors like Samsung and Apple, they work on very high margins. For example, it's said that the Apple iPhone 7 costs just about $250 odd, slightly over $250 odd. But see the selling price, it's about $800 US. So many of the companies, particularly Apple, Samsung, etc., work on a 200 to 300% profit margins. But so that's the main difference between these established brands and these upcoming Chinese brands. They work on very razor thin profit margins. And let's move to the next one. This is from Anand. He's asking, what's your opinion on Oppo, Vivo and Xiaomi phones? They have strong presence in offline market, yet what makes you reluctant from reviewing these phones? Yes, Oppo, Vivo and Xiaomi phones are mostly present in the offline market. And if you have noticed, all these brands actually do advertise a lot also. You'll see hoardings and a lot of TV advertisements also. And the thing is that I am generally a guy who reviews devices, and my highest criteria is price to performance ratio. And what do you think? Where does that money come for TV advertising and all those hoardings? It generally comes out from your pocket. And all these phones from Oppo, Vivo and Xiaomi are generally priced anywhere between 20 to 30% more than their other counterparts like the Xiaomi's, Lenovo, etc., which are available online. So I don't particularly see a lot of value with these phones in terms of price to performance. You are just paying a lot more and you don't even realize that. Just think about it, guys. How can they just advertise all these hoardings and TV advertisements? So that's coming out of your pocket. And the funny thing with Oppo and Vivo is that many times they invite me to their launches. But when I say that I can't come to the launches because I'm very busy, can you please send me a review on it? I'll do a fair review of your product. They never even bother to send me a review on it or even reply to that mail. So if a company is like that and ignoring me when I ask for a fair review on it and just ignoring me, why do I even want to waste my time on those products? Just think about it. This is by Rohit. He's asking, planning to buy the this was the Moto E3 Power. Please suggest any other phone in this budget. Budget is around 8,000 rupees. Rohit, frankly speaking, I wouldn't recommend you the Moto E3 Power for 8,000 rupees because it's using a very outdated MediaTek chipset. So even in the UI, it is a little bit sluggish. The only good thing about that device is the battery life that you'll get. In this price point for 7,000 rupees, I would strongly recommend you the Redmi 3S. That is a great option at 7,000 rupees. If you can go up to about 10,000, then we have the Lenovo K6 Power. But Moto E3 Power, sorry, just ignore that product, I would say. This is by Being Shiva. He's asking, DSLR question, Canon or Nikon? He says no professional shoots, only for video recording. Please suggest in a mid-range segment. If it's just for video, I would say I will pick Canon over Nikon because I've already mentioned about this earlier. In video, the Canon does a lot better. For example, they have this dual pixel technology, and in video, it continuously does autofocusing. For example, I'm shooting this video with the Canon's 80D. This footage is from the Canon 80D, and this is from the Canon 70D, and both of them employ that dual pixel technology. So even in video, you notice that even if I'm moving around and there is no cameraman there, it is continuously doing autofocusing and my face is always sharp. So if it's for video, I would lean over to the Canon, and specifically I would say go at least with the Canon 70D. In the lower price band, we have the Canon 700. But again, in focusing, yes, it will also try to do focus, but the focusing won't be as smooth as the Canon 70D. So I hope it helps. Yes, the Canon 70D is slightly on the expensive side, but again, if you're just going to do a lot of video work, then I would say go with the Canon 70D. I have used even other DSLRs like the Canon 550D and etc. But simply these days for videos, I'm not using them. Because if you're doing alone like me and you don't have a cameraman, you will have focusing issues. I hope that helps. This is by Nikhil Anand. He's asking GoPro versus DSLR for shooting video both indoors and outdoors. I would lean over the DSLR if you know how to operate a DSLR in the manual mode, I would say. With the GoPro, it's very easy. You just hit the button and just record. But you won't get a lot of effects and you can't have a lot of control over what kind of feel that you want. With the DSLR, if you know how to operate it, you can get very good, kind of a different feel if you want. And you can also change the lenses. So it comes down to ease of use, or if you can work with the DSLR in manual mode, you can definitely up your quality. So it depends to you. Personally, I would go with the DSLR, I would say. Though it might be difficult in certain situations to tweak around the settings. But yeah, I'll go with the DSLR because I can definitely get better quality stuff, I would say. This is the last question. This is by Mr. Sahu. He's asking, best budget mic for voiceovers. I would say for a voiceover, just get a desk mic that's with the cardioid pattern, I would say, and go with the condenser microphones with cardioid pattern. I had great luck with the Blue Yeti microphone, and I also used that Blue Spark microphone. In fact, this is my new setup. That's why I haven't set it up. But again, here I will also be using a Blue Spark microphone. It has a great cardioid pickup, and that will be great for voiceover work. I hope that info helps. Blue Yeti is also a very good option. I still use that. So guys, these were some of the questions for this tech Q&A session. And do remember that we do this tech Q&A sessions every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. India time. And again, if you found this Q&A session helpful, I'll appreciate if you can click the like button. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. And guys, thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.